Welcome back to the Finance Hub UK. From October 1st, 2025, major changes will affect the UK's free bus pass system, directly impacting millions of older adults who rely on it for essential travel. While many people may assume their entitlement remains unchanged, the reality is more complicated. In England, the eligibility age for free bus passes will now be tied to the rising state pension age, meaning that many who expected to qualify at 66 will now have to wait until 67. For pensioners, this is not just a policy adjustment, it's a potential disruption to daily life. Free bus travel is not just about leisure, it's about affordable access to healthcare, social activities, and family connections. And with the cost of living crisis continuing to strain household budgets, delaying this benefit by a year could leave thousands struggling to cover transport costs. Beyond the financial strain, the move also raises questions of fairness. Why should a 60-year-old in Scotland enjoy free travel while someone the same age in England has to wait another 7 years? This regional divide is creating frustration, especially among those already struggling with reduced incomes and increasing expenses. Today, we'll explore these changes in depth: who loses out, who is still safe, how the rules differ across the UK, and what options remain for those caught in the middle. This is one update you cannot afford to ignore. The new eligibility criteria explained. Previously, the rules were clear. Once you turned 66 in England, you were entitled to a free off-peak bus pass. However, starting October 2025, that entitlement will shift upward, aligning directly with the state pension age. This means people who had been planning their retirement transport around age 66 now face an additional financial hurdle. This means that as the state pension age rises to 67 between 2026 and 2028, individuals won't qualify for a free bus pass until they reach 67. The change will not affect those already holding a bus pass or those turning 66 before the pension age increases. The government argues that the adjustment reflects longer life expectancies and helps control rising public expenditure. But in real terms, this means thousands of people will lose a full year of free travel access, adding potentially hundreds of pounds in bus fares to their annual expenses. For retirees already juggling fixed incomes, this adjustment could push them to cut back on essentials such as food or heating to afford travel. Who loses out the most? The biggest losers are those just below the threshold, people approaching 66 in the coming years who expected to qualify but now face a delay. These individuals have often spent decades working, paying taxes, and contributing to the system, only to be told at the last minute that they must wait longer for support. A person born in 1960 might have thought they would get their free pass at 66. Under the new rules, they'll have to wait until 67. Pensioners in rural areas, where bus fares are higher and alternatives fewer, will be hit harder than those in cities. Low-income seniors who narrowly miss pension credit eligibility will feel the pinch, as they'll be paying out of pocket for every trip. For these individuals, the change isn't simply about waiting, it's about affordability and accessibility during a stage of life when mobility matters most. Missing even 1 year of free travel can mean hundreds of pounds lost, directly affecting quality of life. Regional variations across the UK. The situation is even more confusing because rules vary between different parts of the UK. This creates not only financial inequality but also feelings of resentment, as pensioners see stark contrasts in entitlement depending solely on their postcode. England, free bus passes linked to state pension age, rising from 66 to 67. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, residents qualify from age 60. These devolved governments have resisted raising the eligibility age. London, residents still get a 60+ Oyster card, giving them free travel across buses, tubes, and trains within the capital. This creates a postcode lottery, where you live determines when and how you qualify for free travel. For example, someone turning 60 in Cardiff will ride free, while someone of the same age in Manchester will have to wait several more years. This uneven access fuels debates about fairness and social unity across the UK. Real-world impact on seniors. What does this really mean for everyday pensioners? Let's break it down with examples that highlight the severity of the situation. Healthcare appointments. A pensioner in a rural village may need to spend £6 to £10 per round trip to attend a hospital appointment. Over a year, this could add up to £500 in extra costs. Social isolation. Without affordable travel, many older people risk losing contact with friends and family, increasing loneliness. Work and volunteering. Some seniors continue part-time jobs or community volunteering. Higher travel costs may force them to cut back. The bus pass is more than a convenience, it's a lifeline for independence. Without it, many pensioners could become increasingly reliant on family members, social services, or even emergency care, ultimately costing society more than the savings the government claims. Alternative travel support. For those who lose out, there are still options to reduce costs, though none fully replace the universal bus pass benefit. Exploring these alternatives becomes critical for seniors planning ahead. Disabled persons bus pass, available regardless of age if you meet medical criteria. Regional travel discounts. Some councils offer concessions for people aged 60 to 66, but this varies by location. National £2 fare cap, extended until the end of 2025, helping reduce costs for all passengers. Rail and coach discounts. Senior rail cards and National Express passes can provide up to a third off. These don't fully replace free travel but can help ease the financial burden. However, applying for these schemes often requires navigating complex paperwork, which may discourage some pensioners from taking advantage of them. Why the government made this change? The government cites two main reasons: rising costs and fairness. Yet critics argue that this so-called fairness actually punishes those who are most reliant on public services. Public spending on free travel has ballooned due to longer life expectancies and an aging population. Linking eligibility to state pension age is presented as logical and consistent with other benefits. Officials argue that those working longer before retirement don't need free travel as early. But critics point out that this disproportionately affects lower-income seniors, who are less likely to have private transport options and more dependent on public buses. In short, while the government saves money, vulnerable pensioners bear the heaviest burden. Campaigns and public backlash. Unsurprisingly, the move has sparked criticism, with campaigners and community leaders warning that the change is both unfair and short-sighted. Public sentiment is growing stronger as the October 2025 deadline approaches. Campaigners argue that travel is essential, not optional, for seniors' independence. Petitions have gathered thousands of signatures calling for bus passes at age 60 nationwide. Some MPs have pressured the government to reconsider, warning that the policy could increase health inequalities by restricting access to services. While no reversal has been promised, public pressure is mounting, and history shows such campaigns can sometimes win concessions. Pensioners are increasingly uniting their voices, seeing this as a fight for dignity as much as for financial relief. How many people will be affected? Based on projections, the scale of this change is massive and will ripple across multiple communities. Around 2 million people turning 66 between 2026 and 2028 will be directly impacted. The financial cost to each pensioner could range from £400 to £800 per year depending on travel frequency. Rural regions and small towns are likely to see the greatest negative impact, as alternatives to buses are limited. This isn't just an abstract policy, it's a financial hit that will be felt by real households. When combined with the rising cost of living, the loss of free travel could push some pensioners dangerously close to poverty thresholds. What happens if you miss the deadline? For those who do qualify, it's important not to miss your entitlement, yet many pensioners are unaware of how early they should apply. You can apply for a bus pass up to 6 weeks before you become eligible. If you delay, you could miss weeks, or even months, of free travel you're entitled to. Applications usually require proof of age, proof of address, and a recent photo. Delays in applying mean unnecessary spending, so pensioners are urged to prepare early. Missing out could mean losing hundreds of pounds in travel costs that could have been avoided with timely preparation. What you should do right now. With the changes looming, here are the key action steps that pensioners and families should take immediately. Check your state pension age, use the online calculator to confirm when you qualify. Research local council schemes, some councils still provide early passes at 60. Plan ahead for costs, budget for an extra year of fares if you're affected. Join campaigns, add your voice to petitions if you believe the age should be lowered. Taking these steps now will ensure you don't get caught out by the October 2025 deadline. Being proactive can save money and reduce stress when the new rules come into force. The October 2025 bus pass changes mark one of the most significant shifts for pensioner benefits in years. While Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland remain generous with eligibility from age 60, England's pensioners will now have to wait longer. For those turning 66 just after the pension age rises, this means a frustrating and costly delay. Transport is more than a luxury, it's about independence, health, and quality of life. And for many, this new policy feels like a step backward. Policymakers may see numbers on a spreadsheet, but for pensioners, this is about dignity, connection, and survival. If you or someone you know could be affected, make sure you double-check your pension age. Apply as early as possible. Stay updated on government announcements. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with friends and family so they don't miss these crucial updates. Together, we can spread awareness and make sure no pensioner is left behind.